All right, here we are back again. Told you it'd be just a few minutes. Hey, Robert. We got your registration information and email the other day, sir. And so you are good to bid with us now, whenever you feel like bidding with us. We will be having an auction tomorrow evening on this channel. Having an auction tomorrow evening, and then Tuesday we're going to have a special auction. Tuesday's special auction is going to be higher grade coins and higher value rolls. We're going to have a bunch of BU wheat rolls, kind of like this 1954D roll right here that we're opening up. This is 1954D. Oh, again, Mac. And I'm going to open this one up, wrap her over the coins just like usual. And see what we come up with out of here. Just getting this one started about 30 minutes late, so we've actually made up a little bit of time. So this one's for Bob Hampton. Bob Hampton's going to get the first coin in the roll, and it is a nice toner. Very nice looking toner. Let's see what we have here. Get this in the right place so that we can see it. Okay, it's a little bit scraggly on the down low side. It's going to be a normal coin. Got a couple of minor double die obverses to watch for, mostly in the 4 of the date, which there's some chance this one could be one of them. Okay. Well, let me zoom in, because we may have a double die here. I bring up my light quite a bit. It's going to be overexposed, but I'll be able to see more detail this way. Okay, no, I think this one's just going to be a stain. Yeah, this is just a stain on the coin, unfortunately. There are 54 Ds that have doubling right down here on the bottom of the crosslet of the 4. This is not one of them. I thought it might be there for a moment. Ooh, got to get better frame rate going on here. What is going on with my frame rate? There we go. It's improving now. Okay. I don't know why that happened. This one turns out to be a normal obverse. There's nothing known for the reverses of 1954D, but we are going to take a look at the reverse of the first 10 coins in this roll, especially. Now, this particular one was facing the outside of the roll, so this one will have a very nice, wow, look at that, very nice bunch of color. Very pretty looking reverse on this coin. So this one's going to Bob Hampton. Bob gets the first coin in the roll, which now turns out to be a normal coin, but we got a lot of coins left to go. And here we are with coin number 2. Who here would like to own original wrapped rolls from the 1940s? I'm going to have a few of those for sale next Tuesday. Big auction next Tuesday. We're going to have some really nice BU rolls of wheat cents. Going to have half rolls too. Going to have some nice 25 coin half rolls. Okay, there's nothing on this coin. 25 coin half rolls, where you'll be able to get them for about half the price of a full BU roll, and in some cases that's actually a pretty good thing, because, well, some of these rolls are $200, $300 rolls, and to split them in half breaks them down so that your cost is a little lower, a little easier to digest, I suppose you might say. Here's Jeff Dunn. Jeff Dunn, coin number 3 now. and it is not much better than coins 1 or 2. This one turns out to be not such a pretty coin. Ouch. Let's look at the reverse real quick, see if there's anything on the reverse, and it turns out to be just as late die state as the obverse. So not a very pretty coin there. Oh, Malcolm. Now, Bob, you know that 1948 is a rather expensive BU roll. But if you really want a 48 roll, I can put one in the auction for you. Looks like this one's going to turn out to be another normal coin. May not have much going on with this 54D roll. Kind of hope all we want to hope, and that doesn't necessarily mean anything good's going to come from it. I sure try. You know, the half rolls that I have are going to be half of a BU roll repackaged into a 25 coin tube, which in themselves are kind of scarce. There hasn't been a 25 coin tube for pennies minted since, or made since 1976. Tompkin was the last company to make them, and they went out of business in 1976. I'm not going to have any like Batdorf half rolls or anything like that. Yeah. Haven't found anything in this roll yet. It's coin number 6 so far. Taking a look to see if we can find anything on any of these coins. Also remember that when you take a look at the coins under this microscope, at the zoom that I've got this set at, you're going to see every tiny imperfection on the coin. You're going to see every fleck, every spot. You're going to see everything. And so when you get the coins in hand, they are probably going to look a little nicer than you might have been expecting, because these coins are actually a little bit prettier than this microscope makes them look. All right, coin number 8 now from Mike Leapline is a RPM. There we go. I believe it is. Wait a minute. I thought I saw an RPM. I think I did see an RPM. And get my light adjusted here after I scratch my ear. All right. Yeah, it's an RPM. It's not as obvious as it could be, but it is an RPM. You can see it up there on the top. Rather clear. Split upper serif. And the lower serif, I believe, is going to be split as well. Yes. Lower serif is also split. I thought I saw an RPM. I did see an RPM. So there we go. Nice little RPM. Coin number 8. This one's from Mike Leapline. Back out on this again. See if we can find ourselves a good marker to use. Get my light turned down just a little bit. Turn the light down low. Now you can see the split in the upper serif real well. Now see, this has a little bit of a braided die doubling on the 4. Means it's a later die state coin. It has a number of die cracks running through the head. Don't really have a whole lot around the date that shows up as a good marker, though. Okay, we've got a couple of heavy die pickles right up here, and we've got a die bump right there next to the 9. So we've got 1, 2, 3. So that should give us something to look for. Die scratch through the 9. Let me check. Where'd the coin go? Here we go. Yeah, we've got a few old north and south die scratches running through the 9 and the 1. Nothing recent, though. Hey, there's one that goes between the 1 and the 9. That looks rather decent. That's a hit on the 1. Yeah, I think I'm going to go with using this little pickle mark right here. And then these two little tiny die dents right here. Looks like a snake bit the die. Alright, so there is an RPM for Mike. First die for the roll, so we're going to call it die number 1 for this roll. Now move on to Jim Fletcher. Well, Jim gets an even nicer split upper serif mint mark. So we do have another RPM in this roll. Let me control my lighting actually let me zoom in just a little bit. That'll control the lighting for me. And I take my exposure time down just a little bit. Actually, my gain needs to be brought down so you can see a little bit better. There we go. Tilt that up. And now we have a double split serif, split upper and split lower. 1954D, and this one's going to be for Mr. Fletcher. Mr. Fletcher will be really happy when he gets these. He loves coins, loves to watch these shows. Pops in whenever he can. Hello, Matthew. This microscope is an AMscope. It is a regular microscope, and it's not a it's not a digital microscope. I've never found a digital microscope that works really well. It has an 18 megapixel camera hooked up to it, which is fed directly into the computer and into their software, which is the AMscope software. And we are using Open Broadcast Studio to show you the result of my screen in the program you're watching. Hey, Jeff. So it's not the microscope itself necessarily doing this. It's more the camera that has the effect of showing you what you're seeing. That's really kind of the more important part of this, is the camera itself. Here's one from Malcolm, coin number 11. Coin number 11 for Malcolm. Let me bring the brightness up just a little bit again. This is one of our minor doubled upper serifs here. You can't really see it very well right there like that, which is why I'm going to adjust my lighting. Well, and it isn't one of them. It's actually hit on the upper part of the mint mark, which just makes it look like it is. But we have nothing important going on this one. Big die crack right there. Now, Matthew, this particular setup is definitely not going to cost you the lower of pricing. This is definitely a higher priced piece here. This particular microscope setup with the light that I have, the camera, the software, the scope itself, the feed, is somewhere in the neighborhood of $1,500 to $2,000. All right, here's one for Joe Cathy. Well, that is true. And because I have written books on the subject of Lincoln cents, and I own and operate coppercoins.com to get good photos of coins so that I can publish them for other people to use, I had to have really good equipment. So I did spare no expense in getting the right equipment for the job, and can completely understand if other people don't order the same thing I have, because they don't intend on being in the same spot I'm in, publishing information like I do. That was from Marshall. Now coin number 14. Mike Birchman again. And this will be Mike Birchman's coin. Looks like a normal one again. So we're more normal than abnormal here, which, well, how better can I say it? That would be normal. It's number 15 for Yo Man. Coin number 15 for Yo Man. Another very late die state coin here. Mouth is almost gone. Very few details remain when it comes to minting coins on very late die state dies. And if you zoom in, you can see that there's not really hardly any real detail at all. It's only mostly just the major details that remain. And that's what you get with a very late die state coin. Try to get my camera set right here again. There we go. Does that look right? No. It's close, but it's not there. There we go. It's a little bit better, I think. I'll probably have to do it again. All right, here's coin number 16, Mac McBride. Well, for some reason, I still have Top Chat on. I may be missing some comments, so I've just put live chat on. I encourage you guys to be on live chat as well, so you can see everything that's being commented rather than just what YouTube seems to think is the most important things, which means you'll miss about half the conversation if you're on Top Chat. Inherited 5,000 coins. My website's been so much help. I very much appreciate that comment. Thank you very much, Matthew. Been working on this for, I'm going to say, it's been 21 years now. Still not quite half my life. But 21 years is a long time to spend on one project. And this project is one that is a lifetime project. I will never actually finish this project. I already know that. I accepted that when I was young, decided to start working on this. How did I get into the hobby? Well, Dad used to leave me sitting in the car when he and his buddy would go to the driving range and practice their golf swings. And one time, when we went to the driving range, my dad met his friend there, and his friend came around and handed me a roll of wheat pennies and a blue penny folder and said, "Here you go, have fun." And I've been hooked ever since. At that time, I was 5 years old. Barely knew what I was doing, but it was fun. Never stopped playing with pennies. It's always been my forte. Here's one for Mr. Marshall. Mr. Marshall gets a RPM. This one is different from the other two that we've seen. So this one is yet again a different RPM. This one has a large mound up above the 9.5. I think we might have seen this die before. Maybe thinking of a different date, but there was an RPM that there was a large mound up in the middle of the field. Here's one for Go Wi-Fi. And Go Wi-Fi gets, well, it's a VLDS coin. VLDS meaning very late die state. Most of the major details are there, but none of the fine details are. All the fine details have been minted completely out of the die. Hello again, Bo Palmer. Coin number 21 now. Coin number 21 goes to Mac McBride. Let's see what Mac gets. Yeah, it's another one of the VLDS coins, unfortunately. Not going to come up with much out of this one. Too soft to really see much of any detail and know what's going on. Here's one for Taco John. And Taco John gets, well, it gets one of the RPMs, but it's spotty. This is the die 1 for the roll. The minor split upper serif. It looks like it could be a triplet mark, a D over D over D. Bo, I guess I did not see. You can let me know again what you put in the chat, because I don't remember if I saw it. Coin number 23, Penny Hoarder. And Penny Hoarder gets, yeah, it's one of the later die state coins, unfortunately. Now number 24, Paul Hampton. Sometimes I get paying attention to what's on the coins and basically doing this part of the job that I tend to sometimes miss messages, especially in a busy chat day. You have a bank sealed bag of 1960D small 8 cents. 100 rolls. It's kind of cool. I would enjoy something like that for sure. Nothing on this one either, and this one goes to Deanne. Yo man here. Yo man now. Bob calls Paul Uncle Paul because they have the same last name. Another normal one. Unfortunately. So what are your plans with that bag, Bo? If you have interest in selling it, let me know. Here's another one of RPM 3 for the roll. This is RPM 3 for the roll. Here's a little bit spotty. Well, you can contact me anytime via Facebook Messenger. My name is Chuck Daughtrey. I'll type it out for you. Let me get in here really quick. That's my name. You can look for me on Facebook. You can also go to the Copper Coins page on Facebook and like the Copper Coins page on Facebook and become a fan. And That will lead you into being able to find other broadcasts and videos that we do. Here's an RPM 2 for the roll. Yeah, we're getting back into some RPMs. This is number 2 for this roll. Nice split in the upper serif. Little split in the lower serif too. There they are. Coin Junkie. I got your message, Coin Junkie. I will be contacting you. I gotta just get caught up on things this week, and then I'll have a few days. All right, here's another 54D RPM, number 3 for the roll. Third RPM for this roll. And looking at this thing next to the T. Okay, it's just a die gouge, die scratch gouge. Okay. So yeah, that's going to be a number 3 RPM, third RPM for the roll. Okay, Bo, I appreciate that. We can definitely take a look at it. All right, got a normal one there. Farm dog. Now number 32. Got Eric. What does Eric pull out? Well, looks like this one's a normal coin. Normal coin for Eric. Well, he hasn't been hitting it very well lately on these die varieties. Not getting the best of them. But it happens sometimes. Sometimes people go through dry spells and don't get anything for a few rolls. Then suddenly, they're the star of the show. Alright, there's another normal coin here. This one goes to Carl Ignatz. And Malcolm, I say it's not Malcolm, it was Tim Morrell. Tim Morrell, I got his text message. My phone died yesterday evening anyway. I had it plugged up to a charger, but evidently it just wasn't charging. This is another die 1 for the roll. Die 1 for the roll, minor RPM, split upper and lower serifs. Late die state. And so, Tim Morrell, if you happen to be out there, you happen to be watching, I did get your message. And here's one for Go Wi-Fi. Also an RPM 1 for the roll. You can see the very minor split on the upper serif right here. If you look right there, you can see a split on that upper serif. And then right here, there's a little dent. And that little dent is where the two vertical sticks overlap one another. And if I show you the lower serif, you'll also see some doubling on the lower serif. Just have to get the angle just right. But you can see it there. It's a little tiny bit of light right here. And then a dark line. And then a little bit of light here. You can see that split right there down the middle of the serif. So that's going to be an RPM number 1 for the roll. Go Wi-Fi. Oh, here comes Bob. Bob says hi. Bob would like to paint a picture for you. These big old trees live right over here and some squirrels. Bob needs to go away. We're busy right now. Hey, there we go. Another RPM 1 for the roll. First RPM for the roll once again. This one's going to go to Mark. So Mark, you are far from normal. Yeah, so my wife decides she's out at a Cracker Barrel with a friend of hers eating. She's looking through the gift store. And she decides that I absolutely need to have a Bob Ross pen. So she gets it for me. I love my wife. Yeah, my Bob Ross pen. I told her one time that, I don't know, some people had called me a Bob Ross because, well, I have that voice, I guess. Some people say that people like to listen to. So I got a Bob Ross t-shirt, kind of made a joke out of it. Wife saw me in the t-shirt. She asked me, what did you get that for? And so I told her. I explained it to her. Now she makes fun of me. Tells people that she lives with Bob Ross, the penny guy. Hello, Shannon. There's Marshall. One of my favorite dogs ever was named Shannon, believe it or not. I just thought about that for some reason. This is RPM 1 for the roll again. My dog Shannon was an Irish setter, believe it or not. And the only place I've ever been in Ireland, Shannon. Never been to Cork, never been to Dublin. That's right, the coin whisperer. Let me get these moved down so Jeff doesn't yell. There we go. Trying to pay attention to things. Trying to get it done right. It's another RPM 1 for the... No, this is an RPM 2 for the roll. This is RPM 2 for the roll. Nice split serifs RPM. This one's going to go to Mr. Fletcher. 3 different RPMs coming out of this roll. They're all pretty nice, too. Eric, up next. Oh, man. Boom. That's pretty. That's pretty, boys and girls. That's an earlier die state. A really nice looking coin. I don't think I've run into one of these yet. This would be the first one that we've seen in this roll of this particular die. I don't know which one it is. That's kind of nice. So let's do this. We've got it in a position where we can see it real well. So I'm going to zoom in all the way. We're going to take a look at this one real close. So we can see what a really pretty RPM looks like. There we go. How about that? Nice earlier die state coin. Very sharp details. And as it turns out, this one is a D over D. Let's see. This is a D over D rotated counterclockwise. Now, we've talked about tilted, we've talked about rotated. Here's your difference. A tilted RPM doesn't have a primary RPM. So you're going to have an RPM that's basically tilted into one another and mixed. This particular RPM has a full D on top. You can see the entire D right there on top. There's nothing overlapping it. And because the secondary D is turned to the left and turned to the left, you've got a counterclockwise turn from the top D to the bottom turn. Counterclockwise turn, so it's a D over D rotated counterclockwise. Now, some of the other more minor RPMs that we've seen in the past are tilted RPMs. Tilted RPMs basically means you don't have a primary mint mark because you have half of one mint mark is on top and half of the other mint mark is on top. So you don't have a top mint mark and a bottom mint mark, but this one is a rotated counterclockwise. Nothing else going on the coin, but it is a nice RPM. This is our die number 4 for the roll. It's coin number 42, so let's see if we happen to run into any more of these. Getting on to coin number 43, we're going to go to Adam Connor. Adam Connor gets, well, hopefully it's another one of these pretty ones. Well, no. This one's not an RPM at all, unfortunately. Not a die variety. We'll keep trying. That's Adam Connor, coin number 43, now 44. Coin number 44 now. Coin number 44 goes to Mike Birchman. And Mike gets... it looks like a normal coin here. Tis a normal coin. Hey, Frank. Check the eye again. And that's on Eric's coin. Okay. I'll check the eye again. This is Eric's coin out for a second time. Yeah, I see what you're talking about, but that's not an eye. It's just a little fleck mark. Not standing out well enough to call it a doubled eyelid. But it is a nice RPM, though. Okay, coin number 45 now. Carl Ignatz. What do we get for Carl? Well, it's another one of our normal coins. Unfortunate though it may be. Tomorrow's sale will have just a little bit of interaction. We won't be selling any reveals, but we will be selling a new proof pull. $2 a coin. There will be a couple hundred coins involved, or 150 or 200 coins involved, depending on how many people react. And you'll have your chance of securing a 1953 or 1954 proof Lincoln sent, along with some 57s, 58s, and a whole bunch of other proof coins at $2 a coin. Some of the proof coins, even the more modern ones, like even after 2010, where you got the shields, a lot of those sell for $3 to $5 a piece at retail. You'll have a chance of getting yours at $2 a piece. Get in on that by showing up at the auction Thursday evening, where I will be sitting in once again for our currently injured Jessica Johnson. She has a neck injury she's trying to nurse through, and we are very patiently waiting to see her get better. All right, this one's for Carl. I'll move on to coin number 48 now. 48 got 3 coins left in the roll, and this is one of them. This one's for Malcolm. Let's see what we get for Malcolm. Now Malcolm's going to get himself a regular 1954D, a normal coin, a late die state. Unfortunately, nothing exciting about that one, other than that it is a nice 1954D Lincoln cent. Now coin number 49. 49 going to Shannon Smith. Here's Shannon. And unfortunately, another normal coin, as it appears. Normal 1954D is a nice coin, though. It's a pretty BU coin. Last coin in the roll, number 50, goes to Adam Chambers. It's got beautiful, beautiful toning on the obverse. Look at that, Woody. Look at the toning on there. Really pretty coin. And it is, well, otherwise a normal coin. Yeah, I certainly hope that she does too, Randy. It's not easy watching a family member go through pain. And no, she's not blood family or married family to me. She's my family because I adopted her. So there we go. Got just a few die varieties. Big stack of normal coins here. And then the die varieties are going to be, this is RPM 1 for the roll. This is numbered 40, 36, 35, 34, 22, and number 8. And we've got number 2 for the roll is numbered 41, 29, and number 9. Number 3 for the roll is number 30, number 28, and number 19. And our 4th for the roll is numbered 42. And that goes to Eric. It's the only one of those we found in here. And that's all I've got for right now. We'll be back later on this evening with the 1939 roll. I hope everybody here can show up for the 1939 roll. It's going to be a really, really nice one. It is original wrap, so I have absolutely no idea what's inside, and I'm hoping that everything inside is going to be really cool and really nice, but you'll have to stop by to find out because even I don't know. So I appreciate you guys coming around. We will be back on later this evening. I don't remember exactly what the time was on that, but I think it was 8 o'clock. I think it was 8 p.m. So I appreciate it, folks. You guys stop back by, and I'll talk to you later. Don't forget the auction tomorrow and the auctions every Tuesday. I appreciate it.